Hey guys, I'm AfroGeek PlusUltraNappy and welcome back to a brand new anime review. So this is the last anime review for 2020. Throughout the year 2020, I had not that many anime reviews. I've had quite a few on the channel, so I mean that's a start compared to what's coming in 2021. So glad I got to close out the year with this anime review in particular. You know, granted it's not that high on my radar, but it is one that I started in my early days in high school. Didn't really finish. I kind of don't know why I never finished this, but I'm glad I got to go back and watch it because, man, this series was actually not that bad. And that series I'm talking about is The Devil is a Part-Timer. This one was one that I said that I watched back on Netflix back in like my early days of high school. I think I was like 14 when I started the series with one of my best friends, but for some reason we just never finished it. And I've heard a lot of people talking about how the manga was better, and I kind of agree from like little snippets I've read online of the manga. I think it's honestly better, you know, but with the anime adaptation, it did do the series some justice, but you know, it could have been a little bit better. So the genre of this series is comedy and fantasy, and the manga is written by Satoshi Wagahara. I can tell my last name, I for sure butchered. And the studio that brought this anime series was White Fox, and it is licensed through Manga Entertainment and Funimation. And its original run was from April 4th, 2013 to June 27th, 2013. And the anime series consists of 13 episodes. It consists of 3 different manga series and a light novel. So the series, The Devil's a Part-Timer, is about Satan, who gets traveled through a different dimension into the world we are living in, Earth. And he has to basically survive in Japan and just work on living everyday lives. And he becomes some manager at a McDonald's, which basically is just your knockoff McDonald's. And it's the funniest thing hearing him talk all noble, trying to rank up to be like supreme leader at a fast food chain. He has his servant with him. Along the way, there's also like Amelia, the hero. She is like a desk worker, but she was the hero in their dimension, and she's trying to kill him. And then you get introduced to other characters like Chio and Lucifer. So before I continue more into the series, let me introduce you to the voice cast. So we got Anthony Bowling as Shiro Ahashia Asil, Felicia Amgella as Emi Yusa or Amelia, Josh Greel as Sadao Mao as Satan, Aaron Dismuke as Lucifer, Alexa Moore as Christia Bell, and Tia Ballard as Chiho. This series is really odd. Satan and CL get transferred from them basically killing dozens of people ruling all over their world, transferred to another world, which is Earth, and they have to basically live in Japan, learn about savings and learn about household work, basically living the lives of everyday humans. Sadao Mao, aka Satan, he tries to work his way up at a local fast food chain called McDonald's. Like I say, your typical McDonald's. So it's kind of funny, like I mentioned earlier in the video, to see him talk like with such prestige and such honor, that same mentality he was as Satan while working in a fast food chain. And while working there, he meets this girl named Chio who develops a crush on him, and she's a high school student. I don't know why in every single anime series they have to make someone so young looking but petite. It is the weirdest thing, and I will never understand it. And it's so funny just seeing their chemistry, just how awkward it is. Each time she's trying to make passes or advances on him, he's just putting her in that friend zone. I don't know. This series is definitely one that's really weird, and each episode was really good. Shiro, who is his servant, is so awkward. Like, he calls Sadao Mao sire and like your royal highness in public, and people just keep looking at him, especially whenever he shows up to fights late, keeps messing up. He's just like, oh my gosh, sire, I'm so sorry, oh my gosh, please forgive me, don't kill me. And then Sadao Mao's just like, dude, get up, what are you doing? You're embarrassing us, and don't play that card here. We're in the human world, you don't need to do that. So basically Sadao and Amelia meet when she is holding her purse over her head, and when it's pouring down rain, and he's riding his bike to work, and he gives her his umbrella. And you kind of could tell something's off, because I definitely remember watching that part when I was in high school, and I knew right off the bat because that character kind of gave like an odd look when he turned the corner biking to work, and I was like, bro, she's finna try and do something to him. And right off the bat when he leaves work, she tries to like fight him and shit, and she has like this whole perception of him because he's Satan. She has this perception and this mentality that he's going to try and kill people in the human world, and she holds this grudge against him because he killed her father, he destroyed her village, and at a young age she was taken away from her village and her father to be trained to end up fighting Satan. And then you get introduced to other people like Lucifer, who tried to kill them like late at night at a train station. And then Lucifer is like this etchy, like scene kid who has like the purple bang and long hair. He has this whole plan to kill Satan and the hero, and he is also accompanied by Father Olba, who was this malicious priest who had his own intentions. You think that Satan's gonna lose against this fight, but he ends up coming in clutch and just defeating him with the help of Amelia. The way they treat Lucifer, because they end up taking him in, and they basically all live in like this little apartment that's like really meant for one, but there's 3 living there, and they pretty much just treat him like dog shit. Even though he's so good with technology, he like helps him on missions, helps him figure out stuff. Like they give him like the leftovers, they don't really feed him. They say, oh no, you can't come to this thing because you gotta stay at home, or just because we just genuinely just don't want you to come. Which, I mean, to be fair, he did try and kill all of humanity and try to kill Satan and the hero. So I mean, it's kind of what he deserves. Just the whole like chemistry between Sadao Mao, Asiel, and Lucifer is just the funniest thing. Shiro, he's all like, sire, you really gotta watch the budget because we can't survive on this, and you know, we gotta put money in the savings, and you gotta think about stuff like health insurance. He's basically acting like a mother. And then you got Lucifer, who was like the teen, like the angsty teen, like, oh my gosh, why can't I go? Or can you guys bring me anything else? Or where's my video games? Why can't I buy this online? Because he has like this addictive shopping problem where he has to buy things online constantly. Sadao Mao, Satan, who is the guy who kind of keeps things in line a little bit and has more of a realistic ideal on how things should be run. I will say Amelia got on my nerves a lot. I would go back and forth from like fucking with her, and then I was just kind of like, oh, this girl annoying. He always is talking about, oh, I gotta kill you, I gotta do all this and that, even though Satan does so much good. And it's so funny because while Chio and Sadao go on this date, you know, she kind of sneaks in and interrupts and is like, you don't want to get involved with a man like this, he's nothing but trouble, and yada yada yada. Then she gets in like this bicker argument with her, and Chio's just like, I don't care, I like Sadao, he is my lover, blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what the fuck is going on in this series? This is so annoying. Christia Bell, she sounds like an android from Dragon Ball Z. At first you think that she has like a crush on Sadao because she's constantly always at his house, which makes Chio jealous and Amelia very suspicious. But then later on she reveals that, yes, I am under Father Olba's orders to destroy Satan and all this whole ordeal. She ends up turning her back on the group towards the end of the series to try and kill Satan because there's this dude who has like blue hair who opens up a chain restaurant that's across from McDonald's called Kentucky Fried Chicken. Can you take a wild guess what restaurant that's trying to mimic? This whole series is just the most randomest comedic crap, and some of it doesn't make any sense, but I think that's the whole point of this series, is that it's just about demonic character who is forced to become inhuman and learn the English language and live upon the humans on Earth. I think that's the whole gist of what makes the show funny. They all have their own tactics and they have like these bickering arguments. Amelia and Sadao, where like in public people keep thinking that they're a couple, and they keep thinking that like Amelia's his ex or his like lover, and it's just the funniest thing when she freaks out and just like, I'm not his lover, I hate his guts. Calm down, ma'am. I'm sure you and your boyfriend may have some big fight, but that doesn't mean you go chasing him around town trying to kill him with a sword. You know, and this is one series that I was afraid that was going to introduce too many damn characters, because a lot of anime series will introduce characters like halfway or like more than that as like the series is getting ready to end they'll want to introduce a character like into the series, and it's just like, why? What's the point? The show's getting ready to end. Why do we need to be introduced to someone new? That dude who ran the Kentucky Fried Chicken ended up being like an angel who was sent to kill the hero and Satan and just try and like kill everyone to take over the world. It is like this most backward type shit I have ever seen in an anime series. Now granted, as much as like this video was all over the place and me describing all of this was all over the place, the series was actually very good and I actually ended up liking it a lot. Now granted, I will say the series should have ended with episode 12 with that finale fight, but for some reason anime series like to do this thing where they like to add a 13th episode which has nothing to do with the events that led to the finale. But the 13th episode was literally just about Sadal and Asil had to take on temp jobs in order to fix their credit and get more money because Lucifer got scammed and bought a bunch of shit online that they didn't need, nor did they have the space for. And Chio, Amelia, and Christia Bell all thought that they were trying to do something evil, did not change at all like they said they did, and it's just the most randomest episode. Why end the series with this episode? We really did not need this. I want to say one of my favorite parts of this was when they first enter the human world, like Sadao Mao and Shiro, when they first come into the world, they were in their outfits from what they were wearing from when they were trying to destroy this village and fight the hero and her army, and they're speaking like their native tongue, like they're not even speaking English. And so this cop like recognizes them and they're just like yelling and they're just talking in their native language, and the cop is like, oh, okay, you guys are foreigners, got it. And then he looks at their outfits and he's like, oh, so you guys cosplay. It's the most randomest crap ever. But overall, I definitely did like this series. If I had to give it any kind of rating, I probably would give it a 7 out of 10. And the only reason why I would do that is because it's not high on my radar. And this is a series that I definitely would recommend if you want something to watch for shits and giggles. I definitely would recommend watching this series, but that's the only reason why I would recommend it. Otherwise, if I already knew what this series was about and I already seen it previous, I wouldn't rewatch it again. If anything, I would just go and read the manga. I haven't read all of the manga. I've only just read bits and pieces. But anyway, guys, that was it for my review on The Devil's a Part-Timer. I know it was such an odd review, but hey, I just wanted to get one more review out, and I thought it'd be kind of funny to review a series that was funny, but also trying to have this serious tone with it. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. We are only a few days away from trying to reach 100 subscribers. I know we can do it. We are 20 away, and if not, we just finna roll right into 2021 with that same goal in mind. If you want to see more content from me, definitely check out my main channel in the link in the description below. It's my Pokemon 1086 channel. On there, I do video game reviews and video game related topics. And if you want to connect more with me on my social medias, hit them up in the link in the description below. I'm talking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, and TikTok. And if you want to do more to support me in the future as well as this channel, hit up my Patreon account. I got awesome tier rewards for different tier members. But anyway, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Technically, it will be the last video that you will see coming up soon, so I'll see you guys then. I am AfroGeek +UltraNappy, and your boy is just